Thank you.
Oh, hey guys, we'll start the meeting. You don't mind? I don't have the agenda in front of me, but roll call, we do that. I know that. Paul? Here. Chad? Here. And I'm here. Would you all stand? We'll do the pledge and I'll have Paul lead for us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Is there any people wanting to speak or any correspondence?
We're going to do a check presentation for the Lewis J. Johnson VA Medical Center. Now we've got with us Michael White. And Michael, if you could stand up here for the camera. You can kind of explain everything about everybody here and our audience out there.
Right here, good.
Yes.
About your program. That's okay. About your program.
Yeah.
And why you're here tonight.
Yeah. So my name's Michael White. I am the Chief of Voluntary Service. We have a long name now. It's called Center for Development and Civic Engagement. Leave it to the government to come up with a long acronym. But what we are is I work with our volunteers. I work with community partners to develop relationships to help ensure we're continuing to meet the mission of serving veterans to the highest level possible. Something that we did last year for the first time is we had an outdoor Christmas tree. That it was a 40-foot Christmas tree. Problem with it is a 40-foot Christmas tree, 10-foot in the ground. It ended up being 30-foot. We had a tree lighting ceremony, and the veterans that were actually residing on our hospice unit, on our hospice unit for many of these veterans, it's home. It'll be final home, until they pass away. Their eyes lit up and tears in their eyes, looking out every day to that tree. So that led me to going through the celebration of lights. So going through the celebration of lights and seeing the lights and kind of in a moment feeling like, wow, I'm back in that youthful stage of being enamored. And so I propose light up the sky, Clarksburg for our veterans. And we've had several partners that's come to the table and been willing to say, I want to sponsor a display. I want to sponsor a display. And we've had 3 more in the last 3 days. So it's been fantastic. I was hoping for 4 in my first year, and we're already past 4. Just knowing those folks that are willing to kind of get involved. But they're going to be commercial grade holiday lights that we're going to be able to store away, and that we're going to be able to use them for years and years. At the bottom of every one, we're going to have a placard of sponsored by or in memory of, similar to what happens at the Celebration of Lights in Fairmont. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any questions for Michael?
And we're absolutely thrilled to be able to support this cause.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. I got to work with Jason through Leadership Harrison, and it really was the perfect connection at the perfect time, and it's a great partnership. You guys are humongous stakeholders of our community, pillars of our community in many ways, and it'll be great to make it officially partnership. So
I always had a soft spot in my heart for VA because when I was a junior in high school, I volunteer out there. I was going to Bridgeport.
Really, yeah.
And I met Martha Rice and Russ Bonanza, who used to broadcast Major League Sports and stuff. And I always admired these DJs and things like that. So they had a radio station there, closed circuit. Had a music room with all the music instruments. So I go there in the afternoons for 2 or 3 hours and play music and take requests and stuff. Lo and behold, I went into that for a profession for 15 years.
No kidding, that's cool.
That's how that got me started in my work life.
Yeah.
The VA hospital.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you more about that at some point.
We have a presentation to make to you.
Here we have a check. I made it a little bit bigger so we can see it. Here's the actual check.
Wonderful.
All right, and we'll do a photo off here.
Yeah.
This is what we chose.
I'm glad. As expected, Michael brought copies, and I was going to ask, let's make a
You
good
can show
group.
that was That's what it's kind of geared around. They didn't have water drops and things like that.
Yes,
So
yes.
we have a dump truck and.
I love it. I love it.
And it's animated. so
Yeah,
it
oh, yeah,
does stuff.
and it moves and lights and it's all kinds of good stuff.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right,
So-
board members want to come up, ask me if I can get you done.
I'll try it again. We need to have a thrasher. We add more room this way, and we have plenty of money, it seems like.
He is the guy with, get us set up here, Al. He's done this stuff here, he's the president.
Yeah, I'll get here, guys.
You can tell us where we need to stand.
Yes.
We need the cameras over here. We can do that. Can you get us without the people's heads in? We'll kind of stand this way, guys. Get in here like this. You got it? Now I gotta make sure my time.
I know, me too. I'm
No, listen, I'm sucking that in. I can look at it. So I want to hold that. And thank you. And there you are. Let's look there.
Hey, did you get some back there? Hey.
yes, we'll look into that. It'll be in my next newsletter. Take
Well,
one to
thank
that.
you for all you
Hey,
do.
thank
Yeah,
you.
yes,
I'll see you
thank you so
later.
much.
Hey,
So
so
much.
here it is. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you, appreciate that.
I'm going to take that to the bank.
Here, you can take that.
Here's your souvenir.
It's the first one.
Ah,
You guys take care, thank you.
I also was a banker, so
Oh, wow, okay.
that's why that check got me excited.
that's the one that got me excited.
Take care, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
Big checks get bankers excited.
All right, what's the next item? Got it in front of us here. I apologize. I get talking up here about stuff and forgot just to keep you going. You're awake.
Under communications,
Yeah.
want to get some dates from the board members here for another check presentation. This one comes to us from Arsenal. So I wanted to know, want to put a little ceremony together there. What's your availability next month?
What do you think about before the meeting?
It could be the same day the meeting if you want. We could have something over at the site.
If I do that,
And
that would work very well.
So I know your schedule.
Well, it'd be nice, it would be nice to schedule on site. It'd be a totally different picture than just a standard boardroom thing.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. I want to do it maybe the second meeting in July, maybe an hour or so before the board meeting.
Okay,
That work for you?
so we have a meeting at 2:30. Could we not meet there like at 2 o'clock?
What, half hour should be plenty.
It's right close by.
Yeah, it's just over here for DA.
That works well.
If we're all on time.
Does that work?
See if you can schedule that.
Okay. I just want to, I didn't know vacations and stuff. I want to make sure. Okay.
And if it rains,
Then
we have a rain date.
Yeah.
Don't give them hair away. A
Sure.
little bit I have. All right, ready? So that's it for correspondence.
Yes, and there's nobody here wishing to address the board.
Alrighty, how about the approval of the minutes, guys?
Make a motion, we approve the minutes in the meeting on Monday, June 17th.
I'll second the motion.
They move and duly seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let's move right on.
Okay, we've got with us our very own contractor back there. Do y'all know Joe back there from Green River Group?
Yeah, I've seen him down on the road, trying to let me through now and then.
He says I have to pay him a little bit extra for making him come here to the board meeting. But Dave Burns is on vacation this week, so who better to jump in and tell you exactly firsthand of what's going on out here in front of the building here on
Yeah.
Chestnut Street than the guy himself. So with that, can you give them what you've completed here the last week or so and what you anticipate going forward?
We've, moved our guys in and started fusing pipe. We've got it all fused now to where we're putting it in 150-foot increments. So out here in front of the building, we've dug holes on both sides of the plant entrance. And we're starting to fish the pipe up the 24-inch line now. Right now I have it to the bottom of the hill, just this side of the bridge. I've got to stop there until we do the directional drawing on the creek. And we can tie that together. And then on the upper side, I've got it clear to the red light up here now. So So tomorrow we'll dig up right there at the red light, there's a fitting in that old 24-inch line. We gotta take that fitting out, then we'll bring the pipe right on through there and then continue it right on up the hill, clear to Garfield Street.
Great.
So far it's going pretty good, so just keep our fingers crossed, everything goes the way I'm wanting it to.
I think everybody's kind of anxious about getting the street back into,
And we also
proper
got
shape.
a crew of guys up here that's starting to pour sidewalks. So
okay.
they will be pouring sidewalks, tomorrow and Friday. They hope to finish by Tuesday. We got a little section up there, Jason, I talked about, we got to look at around the Crim Law Office.
Yeah.
And we get that sorted out, we'll have it completed.
Good deal. Any questions, guys?
Good on that?
No. Hey,
Thanks for coming in.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you for all you do. You guys do a good
I
job.
appreciate it.
All right, you're the follow-up on that, Steve. You have anything to add to that?
No, not really. Now that
Did his job for him.
back at it.
Oh, no.
There's where you want to get your check from.
I know.
No, glad they're getting back in here and, get this 24 or the new 18-inch line installed. Get straight paved and back in shape. I'm gonna ask a question, I guess. How's the gas company? I saw they're still working, or they?
I know they've been working,
Joe, or?
trying to work closely.
Not really, I mean, I think they're getting close to completing, I seen they got a little paving to do up at Thorn Street. They said something about the intersections of the side streets, they were gonna be paving those, so I don't know what that consists of. They haven't caused us any issues, so.
Jason, speaking of the gas company, have you talked to them about the gas house that's on our property that's falling apart?
Yes.
Are they gonna, fix it?
That's what they want.
Yes.
Any idea when that'll happen?
No, but I'll follow up on that, get a PTA, but yes.
It's like an eyesore.
Before they even started, they told me they were going to do
I think
that.
people look at that and they think it's our property. It's a mess. Good idea.
Shortly after all this is said.
Oh, let's move on to some of these other projects.
Jason, I got a question on the overlay out here. According to our contract, it starts right below your entrance here and goes all the way top of the hill, and then we have a little bit at the bottom. But the gas company, I guess they didn't do, they would pay for from the bridge up the hill.
Yeah. Be compensated
I've never got an
directly.
answer from them to confirm that, so if we could confirm that so we know what we're doing.
Oh, sorry.
We do have somebody else to speak. He's not here.
Why don't I recognize? We can start with go ahead and recognize it. You want to state your name and you want to
My
address
name's
the,
Dennis Duchess, another Fort.
Okay, Dennis, hi.
I, was here about a year ago now, I talked to you, about certain water quality issue. And, you satisfied me on the answer. I talked to Mr. Davis, is that his name?
it's right here.
Bob Davis.
Yeah, right here in front
Right in
of
front of you, but right here.
Right there in front of me.
Well, there you are.
It
And
looks
we were
different
talking
from behind,
about,
doesn't it?
water quality, and I asked him, I said, they shut, where they tore the dam down, the two liquids, one or whatever, how the water quality was, he said it was a lot better. It came, I saw you on TV, Mr. Cox, you mentioned about the water quality, if they tore the Harbor Dam down. You were concerned about the water quality, and if tearing it down makes water quality better, then what's the issue with that?
I think if you look at the replay, and I didn't say, this is what I said. I said our concerns were that we have the intake, so we have water coming out of the river. I did use the word quality, maybe I did, but I don't remember that. My thought was we needed to have a source so we could get the water out of the river. And we also had to be concerned about the community at large, because it would be left with the park with muddy banks and all that, road slippages, whatever. And we wanted to make sure that we had everything covered when we ever take it out. Our primary concern that we can get water out of the river. But since we've taken the dams out upstream, the water has been cleaner, cooler and everything.
Yeah.
But But no, I think that was misunderstood. My thing was, I said we needed to have access to the river for the intake, because getting the water out of the river.
Taking the dam out though, how would that, be a deterrent, take the water out of the river? Though? Would make
Well,
it
see,
flow.
well, first of all,
Yeah.
that's our concern. We have 90 million gallons of water behind that dam. We take about, what, 8 million gallons a day or so. And so if they drop the level of the river down by taking the dam out, we have concerns about drought, having the adequate supply of water to fill our needs and so on in case of extreme emergencies. Now, there are sites, and they've showed this around the country, that it has worked. And they say, well, you've got the Stonewall Jackson Lake and you've got Stone Call that could always keep water in the river. But we want all of the answers. We want all the I's dotted, T's crossed before we ever take the dam out, which means number one is protecting our water source. We have to have water. We have to be able to get it out of the river, good water. That's number one. That's our concern. Second concern would be what it does to our community. You know, like we've got that beautiful park here. What would it do to it? And of course, they've said, well, you can do this. And they show beautiful pictures of observation decks set up where the old Traction Street, they had a pedestrian bridge going across so people here could walk over into the park. A lot of drawings and stuff. But like Paul, I can quote him, it's always good, but it's going to cost a lot of money, and who's going to pay for it? And my observation reading the paper was, we take the dams out, accomplish their goal. Their goal is to get the dams out, and they're worried about the movement of mussels upstream. That's their concern.
Mine too.
So what happens is, so we take the dam out, it's gone.
Well,
And now we're stuck with the problem. You see, we want to make sure that it's a complete job. That's what.
how deep is that area right now that you take water out compared to the dam on how much water lower?
About 8-10 feet.
8 or 10 feet. 8 to 10 feet.
8 to 10 feet, it would lower it that much? Out of how many feet? How many total feet do you have right now?
About 10 or 11 feet behind the dam.
Right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would lower it.
Well, first of all, you got to realize when
Yeah.
you take the dam out, the river's going to drop down to
Sure, I
that
know.
level.
If you look below the dam, you could walk across it right now. It's ankle deep. I was actually out there this morning. If you took the dam out, it would be ankle deep behind where the dam is.
How deep do you need it to get the water out?
We have to be able, deep enough, Bobby, he's our pro right there, to get it, so the water would go into our intakes.
You gotta make sure there's an adequate enough water coming downstream, because what they're gonna do is gonna take the impoundment out, and then they're gonna put our intake screen in the river. So it has to continuously have enough flow over top of that, for us to get water. There's been numerous times, I have a camp that's up in Lewis County, so I go by, Western Americans Dam up there. There's plenty of times I went by there and there's not even a drop of water coming over that dam. So, you know, for them to say that they would make sure we had enough is one thing. To do is two different other things.
Yeah, you see, the problem is, again, basically, their mission is to get the dam out and take care of the mussels, which is fine, okay? That's their problem. That's what they want to do. So we solve their problem by taking the dam out and all that. And we're saddled with all the rest of it. Low water, problems with the intake. So they said they would buy a new intake for us. They would design, like he said, an intake will be out in the river. We've seen those. We went down to Glenville to look. They have a system down. It's much smaller, but they do it. And this looks like two big cylinders in the river, and they screened on the front. They're like bullet shaped, and the water runs into it. They go into the system. And I think they've had some issues with theirs down there. Other cities have used it, but our city compared to other cities, we have a different type of a slow moving stream. Some of those have different streams. There's a lot of variables involved. Just because other cities use it, it's the same type of stream in the same situation. So again, we're proceeding very, very cautiously on this. To take those dams out of the river, I've been on the board here. Paul's been on for a long time too. I've been on the board for 23 years. And shortly after I got on the board, we started looking in 2003 at what we can do about the dams. 2003. And it took us to 2015 or 16 to get them out. People are saying, boy, you're moving really fast. We were at that for, God, a dozen or more years. We proceeded slowly with it. We did all the studies and everything, and that's what we would do with this. This dam is very critical to the people of this county. 96% of the county gets their water out of our intake right down here. And so, you know, we're not going to do anything foolish to jeopardize our water supply. Secondly, we also got to make sure, since the city and the community has a beautiful park setting here, we can't destroy that. We got to be careful. And so we're moving slowly. I think that's what we're doing. We're gathering the information. We put the onus on them. They got to prove beyond all doubt that this will be a great thing for the community. They can take the dam out, we get the intake. That's probably not a problem. The problem is the total picture. And we're not going to do it. I mean, they told us when we took the other two, and I'll shut up here now because this is going too long. When we took the other dams out, they would put an ingress or intake, people put boats in and out where the dams were. And it's been out of the river for 7 or 8 years now. It hasn't happened. They've shown us some drawings, but it doesn't. But all around the state, the DNR is putting boat docks in, boat ramps and everything. And we stuck our necks out, me in particular, over all those years. And they haven't kept their promise. You see what I'm saying? When you take this out, it's going to be a mess.
Now they're in the process of doing an analysis. They got $1 million grant, do an analysis, which we'll bring back to the board. We'll review, make sure all the I's are dotted and everything's, even before we consider removing the dam, we have to make sure.
We're going to be discussing that today.
Very
I think it's
slowly.
on the agenda. The other thing is with that, the statement was, they're going to take $1 million to do a study. And our concern is a line in there. If that study shows they can take the dam out and improve the mussels, we have to take it out. It doesn't address all the other issues. You see where I'm going with this? So the $1 million study, it says, they put it in writing to us. If the study shows that we could take the dam out and put a new intake system in, you're obligated to take it out. You see where we are? We're back against the wall then.
Jason, did you and Tim get a chance to collaborate with them on that new wording?
I think I CC'd you in that. I had a response back.
Because the ultimate decision we decided would be.
This is going to be an agenda item.
Yeah.
I'll bring the meeting back to order again. Is there any other questions, sir? Normally, we want to do about a 5-minute discussion, but there's some people up here like to talk, not me. Is there anything else you'd like to know? Because we're going to go back.
A lot more than you could handle this meeting.
Okay.
I'll let it go.
Well, we welcome you anytime to come and talk to us, talk to the managers.
It's the second time I've been here, so we'll try to make it happen.
I'm so glad you came.
Yeah.
And anything like that, we'd have public hearings. We do public hearings and
Yeah, I
so.
remember you when you flipped records down in Bridgeport Gymnasium
Yeah, exactly right.
a while back.
Thank you.
And always feel free to come in anytime.
All right. All right.
Feel free to come in anytime.
I was surprised at 2:30. I was gonna be here by 3.
Yeah, well, we moved it up
Yeah, they moved it to 2:30,
So it's gonna be 2:30 from now on.
For the summer.
for the summer.
For the summer
We'll look at
months.
it. We'll look at when the fall comes in.
Yeah.
But right now it's 2:30.
You're welcome to come in anytime and we'll talk to you.
I know you've always been pretty nice. So is this gentleman here.
I'm really surprised about that.
Well, thanks for coming. Let's jump back to our agenda then.
Okay. Water system improvements project phase 3A. We got quite a bit to report on that. I'll let you take the lead, you two, and then Shelby's got a bunch of stuff to report there on that, so.
All right, I'll get started with that. So we did have a project call yesterday with the project team, the attorneys, accountants, bond counsel,
I was
Shelby.
at
Maybe not
negotiations.
No, but had a good discussion on what we need to do to get our binding commitment, how we're moving the project forward. So we're going to be submitting the binding commitment request to DWTRF this week, and that's really one of the important steps. Make sure we lock our funding in on this project in July. I believe Pete is getting the last signature he needs on the right of way signed today.
Today,
I don't know if
yeah.
you've talked to him. I think he was.
I'll orchestrate that meeting, yeah.
It's good. So we got
Today.
one more signature.
That'll be the
And,
final
we'll work
piece.
for that over to Tim to work on the final title opinion.
Great.
The next week or so as well. So things are moving and coming along nicely.
And I know you're in the midst of doing the DEP stormwater permit
Yes.
application for downtown, right?
Yes, that we do have all of our other permits for the other 3 contracts, but this would be the stormwater permit for the downtown portion. of this.
So I got your receipt where you sent it to the health department. So that's ongoing.
Thank you, Steve.
That's good. This girl here's been busy. I got the new one. If you want me to pass this out, this is the new one.
Okay, yeah, so.
You need their approval now?
No.
Okay.
So we're on television now. This is Shelby.
Mhm.
And Shelby, why don't you tell them who you're with?
Yeah, so I'm Region 6 Planning and Development Council, Project Administrator, and, assisting the Water Board on a Phase 3A project and other projects. So Steve was talking about a binding commitment request. There's a number of items that are required to be attached to that request, which is your commitment of funding, that they'll award. There was something that Steve called me today to note on the Schedule B. So, if you'll recall, your lead service line funding is a 51% low interest loan, and a 49% portion of that is principal forgiveness loan. Okay, so that's the same on your design loan and your construction contract. So long story short, those numbers got switched up. So the Schedule B originally said, like 51% principal forgiveness and 49%
They flipped
loan.
it.
Right, so we had to make a minor adjustment. It did not change the total project cost, but it did increase the debt service by about $200,000, something in that ballpark. I did talk to Todd Dingus, your accountant, and he is not concerned with this small increase. It's not gonna affect the rates. It's not going to really cause any issues that he can foresee. There are some administrative items like the CPA certificate that will have to be changed. But it's really not too big of a concern, I don't think, on your end. But it will be important as we go to request binding commitment that got seen. So thanks, Steve, for checking on that.
So you do not need their approval for this?
No.
Okay.
So with that, the other thing I've been working on is trying to get y'all registered in ASAP for the federal money. We're dealing directly with the US EPA for that, and it's $6.8 million. And there's a whole separate financial management system, so working on that so that when we go to bid, which is hopefully about mid-August, everything will be in place for all the funding, and the state and the federal including. The last thing that I have on Phase 3A is a payment request. So this includes, and I'll hand these copies out for you all to look at. We've got 3 invoices on this payment request. One is for the Clarksburg Water Board to be reimbursed for its payments to Pete Scott, your right-of-way agent. Another is for the attorney, yes, and one is for Region 6. So all of these, after they're approved, we submitted and paid out to your professionals. Well, and one reimbursement.
Jason, you review this? I'll make a motion to approve request, number 06.
Okay, there's a motion to approve this.
Yeah, I'm just looking at
This was sent to us in the packet. We got with all the supporting.
It's a lot of
documents.
information if
And
you
what
have
this is
questions.
what I understand. We paid like some of these people. This is our reimbursement. Is that right?
That's correct for the right-of-way agent.
Yeah.
For the
Pete.
attorney and for the administrator, those are going directly, so you have to pay those.
Okay.
Best second.
Oh, it's been moved and duly seconded. We've got this in our packet. There's a lot of information. And I called our manager and asked him about this. I said, it looked like we paid this already, like the PAS and so on. Then he told me, no, this is for the reimbursement for that expense. So that's what.
And I would add, Mr. President, the reason we're able to do that is because Shelby kept us from doing it the wrong way. Remember, she made us do the disability, minority, whatever, all that federal rules that made us eligible for this reimbursements. Thank you.
Well, thank you for everything, Shelby.
You're welcome.
It's unbelievable all the good things you've done for us, and that's truthful.
Oh, thank you.
Even catching that little flip flop here on Which could have been big.
Yeah, $200,000.
So I just need to sign this.
Your community, this here is one of her, documents that she
I have you
prepared.
sign all 2 copies, please.
Okay,
This is just for your all's information. But this is Shelby's document that she sent to Joe Schulingkamp with EPA. So that kind of gives you a really good overrun of the project. Did a really good job with that
well,
document.
all this information's in our packet, so. This is I wonder why we got these number left now. You need them signed. There's one more somewhere.
I need 3. You got 3 there?
There's 3 here.
Okay,
I
that's
thought you said-
everything, and I'm gonna give 1 to Kathy.
I thought you needed 4.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl. Okay, all in favor of the vote as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it.
Okay, we want to ratify, Pete Scott, for that's, PAS Investments LLC.
Yeah.
For this is what we forgot to do last time, for the 8,160.35.
We need to make the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the payment to PAS.
Not what, 8,165?
8,160.35.
A second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We pretty much all know what this is about unless you really have some serious discussion. It's just with an oversight we had at last meeting and missed it. So we want to get it paid. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let's move on.
Now, requisition number 6 was done. So we're going to Snake Hollow. Number Steve?
All right, Snake Hollow. As I mentioned last meeting, right prior to the last meeting, I received safety correspondence back from Montreal. And, obviously, we're trying to get this bonding commitment wrapped up for 3A. So next week, I'm gonna be hopping back on, Snake Hollow and get that project wrapped up. And, get those changes we discussed about booster station versus the private booster stations. And, get that ratified, get that back in the DEP's hands.
And just a summary of the last meeting, you said that rests on the board on whether doing the pump station or whether doing the individual pumps at each
That is
service
correct.
location.
The DEP said they would pay either way for a one-time booster station. I think we discussed that. I think
You just want to put some methodology behind it to make sure it makes sense.
Yes.
Right, okay.
That was our station for.
In my opinion, is that alleviates a lot of expenses for you guys for future
Future
maintenance,
maintenance, right.
electric generator.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about our choices. Would we do one or all of them? Or an individual, right? That's the choice.
That is correct.
And which is the most economical way and the best way to do it, in your opinion?
The most economical way is to purchase the individual pumps. In a ballpark, I'm gonna say those are probably $3,000. That's probably on the high side per customer. There's 5
And
customers.
to a single pump, it'd be a lot more.
Single pump, you're probably looking at 275,000.
Boy, there was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And not
I'll
only
take them all
that,
down.
but you have electrical costs that you would be responsible for, you'd be responsible for.
Reoccurring
How about
Like-
continuing maintenance and all that forever?
O&M,
Telemetry costs, a monthly telemetry fee that you would incur with that, so.
But with the individual units, once we pay for that, then that's their responsibility once they take it, right?
Yes,
after 1 year.
After we have a warranty or something for 1 year, and
Yeah,
after
right.
that, it's their responsibility.
1 year warranty, and like I said, this is my initial conversation with the DEP, they would pay, the initial pump station cost. And, from that, then when that pump burns up, hopefully lasts 10-15 years, and that'd be the responsibility of the homeowners for that. Pump after that.
Well, they have to be thankful to get this thing corrected. What a mess they've had. What do you want to do, guys? It's an action.
Individual pumps.
Make a motion.
I make a
Direct
motion.
them to secure with the EPA, or DEP, I mean.
Yes, we can move forward with that.
I'll second that.
Okay, so moving to second. Any more discussion, counselor, anybody? Okay, we're ready to vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
All right, Second Street Pump Station Project.
Second Street Pump Station, we have the pump selected, to design this off of. Now, of course, when this goes out to bid, whoever is on it could put in an alternate that is this, that produces the same flow. And so the way this pump is designed right now, that at about half tank, the pump will kick on, it'll pump about 2,200 gallons a minute as the tank fills up, because it is a relatively low head pump. So as the tank fills up, the flow rate will go down, but it only goes down to about 2,000. It moves about 200 gallons a minute as it approaches full tank. Even at the 2,000 gallons a minute, that still produces around 950,000 gallons a day. I'm sorry, in that area from like 11 o'clock till 7 in the morning. So enough to fill up your tank and cycle as you want to do that.
950,000 gallon, is that in a 8-hour period?
Yes. So again, certainly within your time frame that we're trying to run it at midnight hours if we can. If we need to go over, then we'll go over and do what we need to do. The location of this booster station, about the only place we can put it that it works is at the location where the 12-inch and the 24-inch are teed together. This is at the opening or the beginning of the tunnel that goes under 2nd Street. The problem with that is this is on private property. Mr. Mike Angotti.
Yeah, Mike Angotti.
Okay. I don't know him, and so I was one that asked if there was, I can approach him and talk about the property acquisition for this, or if you guys have a personal relationship and want to do that, I'd be happy to go.
It's always good if you have
Same
somebody
time.
that represents us that he knows, comfortable with.
I kind of think it would be better to do that, so because again, one of the things we're gonna need is not only are we gonna need the site, because at the pump station, but we're gonna need some type of road of ingress and egress for this, to be able to get into it. The other thing we can do is offer such things such as where it goes, we can plant some trees around it so that it's hidden during the winter months, those type of things. So again, very minor dollars.
Is this gonna be in front of their property or
This is behind their property.
Okay, that's good.
On that hillside?
On the hillside, there is a flat spot just right where the connection goes from the 12 to the 24, down over that hill that's hidden there that appears to be there.
So where do we have a right of way that we're allowed to service, but we can't build on it?
Well, we've got the right of way for the existing 12-inch line that comes off of the 24 up to the tank. So that's good. The problem is we don't really have, in good faith, we could not say that right of way is large enough to put this booster station there. And again, consider where it's located. It's going to be in his back door kind of thing. We would want to be a good neighbor and say, hey, we want a little bigger piece of property here to put this down because we're going to need to be able to get in, fix this, move pumps once in a while, those type of things. It is not super close to the back of his house. It is much, much closer up to the tank area.
Yeah.
So I don't know the number, but if I had to pick it out, it's, if the distance is whatever, it's 1/4 of the distance from the tank to his house. So still a significant area between his house, but again, not everybody wants a pump station in their back door. But we could again.
Does it make noise?
Very little. It's electric pumps, so it's not like it's and it's no odor, and it's not going to be a sewer pump station. So
What about generator backup?
the generator backup. If that thing kicks on, those things are noisy. They're hard to muffle down very much at all. But again, we're really hoping that is a very that happens very
Minimal
often
time.
at all. Yeah.
So what you're saying is you'll work with Mr. Angotti or Dr. Angotti on the aesthetics of this thing to
Absolutely.
make
Oh,
it
yeah,
fit
they
in
wanna
with
make it
his
look good.
property.
Yeah, and again, I think that is a relatively easy place to do it. It is back in the wood area, so. I
Can you
think
put it underground?
We can, but it makes the access of it difficult. It also then becomes, you've got an electrical pump system that is underground, that if the drains get plugged up, you can do that much easier with sewer systems than what you can water systems. So this will be on top of the ground. And right now, the way we're getting this thing priced out is what I call a Quonset hut, is that it's basically the building wrapped around the pump. And then you kind of lift up one side of it to work on it, those sort of things.
What about wintertime? Freeze prone?
They're insulated. They have little heaters in them that work as well. Again, because of the area, you don't really need that much. And because you're going to be running it every single night, It's going to generate enough heat, it'll stay.
Where's the 12 and 20, about where I'm trying to visualize. I'm going up the hill, going up to the tank,
Mhm.
heading up towards the park.
Yep.
You go around the bend, then it turns to the left, and there's our tank.
Yeah,
But you get to the top of the hill past his house, the road curves around his property.
curves around to the right, and
Yep.
then you're headed up to the top where the tank
Right.
is. If you would, I'll give you a different reference. If you're standing up at the tank and you're looking back down to the doctor's house,
Yeah.
it's about 120 feet down the hill.
Straight down between there and his house
Yes.
approximately. So the water line, that's where the water line is down in there.
Yes.
The 24 is down there, but
Well, and the 12 that comes comes down right through his property. And then the 24, right where they intersect, then all of a sudden, about 120 feet or so down, there was a tunnel constructed that ran to 24 under,
Second Street.
Second Street, and then it pops out after you pop over the hump on the other side and comes back out over there.
Yeah.
So we could not, at first I thought, well, maybe we can intercept the tunnel somewhere and do that, but it's at such a depth that it's not
My
practical.
thing about this thing is I don't know how you feel about having a road cut into it.
That's,
That's gonna be the biggest obstacle, I think.
well, I think there's a possibility, I haven't got it designed
Can we
yet.
come into it from that road that goes beside our tank and come back down around some way?
We might be able to do that. I think there's a chance we can come direct off of Second Street and not really have to access Dr. Anybody's house in general, that will kind of come in the back door on this thing and stay away from him as much as possible. But that's the other part. I really need to talk to him. We've done some very light type of survey work. I really need to get on there and throw some flags out. And I don't want to do that without talking to him first.
Yeah, that's the best thing.
Yeah.
You don't want to read this in the paper or anything
No.
about that, get him all
Is
excited.
that the house down
I
there?
mean, it's gonna be in the paper, but we're looking at it.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them down there.
And so.
We need to talk to him quick, because it'll be in the paper about his property and stuff, I'm sure, and then we'll, then
And again, the big thing we don't want to do is have flags show up on someone's property unannounced and
Yeah.
really upset them.
So to ask you.
we haven't had a chance to talk to him yet.
The ask you're making today is one of the directors who knows Dr. Angell to get on the phone with you.
Yep.
And him.
And I can do it by myself, but I think that coming from somebody that knows it might be a better.
You know him I know he's fun, but I don't know him personally, and I don't know who he is.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody. on the
I like
board.
to just tag along, just so I can meet the guy, 'cause I'm sure as under construction, we're gonna be talking.
So nobody, none of the directors know.
Okay, I can make first contact with him and just go ahead and just discuss in general. And then set up a time that we can meet out in the field, talk more about it. And he may even say, hey, I've got a different spot that works over here, how about this? And then we can take a look at it and see if that works for, engineering wise. Okay, so, again, pumps size is selected, location is, we've got a good location picked out, but, we just need a little cooperation.
We're not gonna move the tank, so.
Well, I think he allowed us to put that, somebody did allow us to put that line in there at one time, so.
Yeah.
He knows it's there, so.
And again, I do believe
We did
that we can do it very aesthetically pleasing, or at least neutral, in this thing, that, we can accommodate.
He's waiting to work for us.
And that's really the only option.
Nice.
No, it is not, but it is by far the cheapest. So another option would be that we follow the 24 down to some point that it's a public street. We set the pump station there, and we run a new line all the way up to the tank. And so you're looking at that.
You're looking at a
line,
lot of
which
money.
is several hundreds of feet. So you're getting into the, well, you see the cost of Chestnut Street out here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is by far, if we can just set the pump station right at where the 12 connects to the 24, do a little bypass there and make it work.
I think the reasoning behind it, while we're doing this, I think he'll understand, and I think we can reason with it.
But once you guys set up a meeting, preliminary meeting, just go over this with him and get his thinking.
Yep.
When he sees what we're trying to do, he's a pretty decent guy, so we'll just see what happens.
Okay, I'll try to get hold of him as quickly as I can.
Okay.
Thank you, Doug.
Yes, sir.
All right, the Heartland Dam project, we don't really have any more information.
We're just gonna wait.
So I mean, I request a table, but if you want to discuss it, it's on there to discuss. But
I think Paul's question, and I didn't hear a response. Did we get the wording back?
you all seen the email that I sent, have not gotten a call or a response back. Okay. The next is the Wolf Summit Energy Center project. We request to table that. I already informed you all what was going on there. We discussed that. And the next items is for executive session. Before we go into executive session, Doug, can you, on the drinking water state revolving fund priority list, I know you went to that meeting. Can you report, our ranking for our two projects? We're at 1920. That's for our 3A project, 3B project. Do you want to
Yeah, I mean,
kind of go over that?
the brief answer on that is going to be that in essence, it really doesn't have a material effect on certainly our current project. Funding is already established for it, so it doesn't matter. So 3A is what it is. 3B, they still have us ranked at 19/20, and part of that reasoning is because other projects now have lead service issues. And so it's not that our ranking changed, our score basically stayed the same, but other people came in with a higher score.
Explain 19/20, tell me that.
Yeah.
Tell me.
3A is at 19, ranking 19.
Yes.
And 3B is ranking 20 out of 100
Yes.
some projects across the state.
Last year,
Okay.
2 years ago, we were ranked number 1.
Yes, I got you.
Okay. And so other systems have come in that have.
Yeah, what you're
other
saying,
problems.
it's you're just ranking among all the people who are applying for funding.
So that's the only difference is they.
It's our position, we're 19 or 20.
But the importance is that we're on there.
The importance is we are there. We are high in it, you know, so that's still a really good number.
How do they rank that? Is that based on monetary needs or actual?
Several, there's a matrix. So one of the criteria is, do you have an enforcement action against you? And so you get high points if you got enforcement action. We don't have an enforcement action, but we do have regulatory issue. You know,
We have administrative orders from the
Yes.
EPA and all these people.
There's others that have much worse. Need is one of those, readiness is one of them. There's a couple other criteria, and so they put that all together in the metrics, and you get so many points for each one of those, and then literally, they just put it in there, it ranks highest. Where you go.
Based on need and all that stuff.
Yeah, because I also say when I got this and I see our ranking, I got a little bit out of shape. I got a little bit.
To get involved.
He had to throttle me back.
Shelby and Doug might know better than me, but it seems to be, in my experience, the ranking is not important, just so the project's identified on the list.
It is extremely important to be on the list.
Yeah, but not, the rank is not that critical.
My experience has been, quite frankly, it's important if it becomes, when they start running out of money. Okay, and if the money gets tight and stuff like that. If you walk in with a project that's ready to go, I've had projects that were ranked in the 60 level and immediately got funded because we had the
Ready to
designs
go.
done,
That's the key.
everything.
They got the money and you're ready to do it.
With every project, without question, having everything ready, shovel ready is the key.
Get out here. Okay. Anything else?
Well, before we go to executive session, I just wanted to give some kudos to our general manager. Like, I got feedback from our customer, Angela Fitro. She was very appreciative. A customer reached out to me in regards to 310 Capital. They thought they had a leak. I reached out to Jason, and Jason, of course, you know how we all know how he is. He went hands on at the 310, found out the leak, and was make sure it was getting taken care of today, I believe. Right? So she was very appreciative, and we just want to thank you for everything that you do.
Appreciate that.
What's the update on Adams from last night?
Oh, it's fixed.
It's all done.
Yeah, it was on a 2-inch line,
Oh, okay.
had a hole in it.
Oh, with Mountain Street, it was on 25th Street, wasn't the main line.
It was North 25th Street, yeah. But if
Anything
you want,
else?
if you want hands-on experience, Paul can tell you about it.
Anything else, guys?
I'm thankful for Paul last night.
So our general regular meeting is over. Now we could come out of the meeting and take action on some of the executive things. So
I'll move we go into executive session.
under all these items, we can add that in. It's been moved and seconded, and we'll have a meeting right now. Thank you.